And we're live. Hello. Welcome back to Matrix Talk. It's Bill and I here right now.
Yep.
And we will go into our usual holding pattern for about 5 minutes.
Yep.
And that's because,
want people to come and get settled in.
People settle in and then show up in the last 5 minutes. The way Crowdcast works, it sends out a bulletin to a bunch of people that we've gone online. There we already picked up another one. And I do know there are people that just wait for that. And Tina's on. Oh,
Hey.
we're going to bring Tina on because
yeah,
she's one of the masters of ceremonies here.
All right.
There's Tina.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
We're going to...
This is a surprise. I didn't put on makeup today.
Well,
Neither did I.
We figured out you and Phil have much richer experience with school leadership.
I have worked in schools.
Right.
I spent a few years running around schools.
Yeah. A few.
A few.
Just a couple.
So, I would in a heartbeat go into any school and do
and you have, Kevin, you have gone into
actually I have, all right. But still, I will take a back seat today.
Yep.
So
if you haven't and you're coming on, make sure that you sign in.
Sign in. Say, hey, we got Melinda B.
Tell us where you're from.
We have Austin. I checked in. Hello from Maine.
Yeah, I was beginning to check in, and then you brought me on, so I have to go back and finish my check-in.
Yep. There's 11 people on now, so we definitely have not heard from all. Allentown. Oh, Billy Joel's song.
Allentown. Yay. A little bit north of me.
Michigan. And
from Toronto.
Toronto. Now we're international.
Sam
from Fairfax, Virginia.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Across from Tina again.
I've been to Fairfax, Virginia, but
I've even been to Fairfax, Virginia.
Not in 20 years or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Phil, do you want to do whiteboards or do you want me to do my iPad?
Why don't you do the iPad?
Okay.
And you and I will walk them through a loop or two.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Well, which one of you wants to be the focus screen?
I'm going to share my iPad screen and it will be the focus.
Yeah. So
if that's okay.
So I'll make Tina the focus.
Yeah, make Tina the focus. Correct.
Okay. For our students,
just let us know when you're
Crowdcast students on, and if you want to learn how to use this platform, it is part of something that Phil and I do, helping people, well, Tina as well, helping people set up their online businesses.
Oh, Anne's here. Anne does school stuff.
Yeah, there's Anne.
And does school stuff. She does. She works in them.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah, and then while you're doing that, you can check out our latest offering. We're going to be running a virtual Quick Act Matrix boot camp.
Yeah, the way cool thing about that is that the fourth day we will be doing certification stuff with folks. So you could, if you study hard, practice. Actually, it's more like practice.
Yeah.
Get certified right at the end of it. Way cool, huh?
You can walk out with the certification under your belt.
Under your belt.
4 days of fun. And Tina's going to be having a happy hour every day.
Yeah.
Virtual, of course.
Virtual happy hour.
Every BYO beverage.
You can click on the link below to get that. I blank on the dates, but Certifiable? Yeah, well, Phil and I have been certifiable forever.
Oh, I've been, mate. That's it. You got it.
Good one.
Can't get
We
it.
should have
Can't
put-
get it. Oh, Phil, it did it automatically
We could
for
get
us.
new T-shirts, Kevin. We could put "We're certifiable" like on the back of it or something.
Oh,
like
that would be very good. Yeah, definitely.
that. Derivation for you.
All right, let's see.
We're certified.
It's not.
Oh, it's a lovely iPad cover.
Sort of a at one point an ocean view, but it also could almost be green marble.
Yeah, I feel like I'm surfing,
Yeah,
and I don't even surf.
maybe we'll see Jaws.
Yeah.
Penguins at least.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me-
So what Tina's doing is she's getting her whiteboard set up, and there it is.
there we go.
She figured it out.
I got it.
We are at 106 now, so we might as
We
well.
are.
Well, that was a good pause while we
Yeah.
waited for her to get that.
Perfect.
So you guys take off.
All right. So the way that we start all of our crowdcasts and ever working with anybody is we start by simply asking, is it I to say to them like, hello, I work from a point of view, so I'd like to show you that point of view, and is it okay if I show you how I work? And then we would pause, and then you folks, Melinda, she knows. Melinda's right on target. She gave us a yes, got yes. Oh, awesome, right. So what we would normally have, and Tina could put this up, is I would have the matrix diagram already up behind me, or if we're online like this, I'd have it up on a screen, kind of like, Tina uses Notability. There's lots of different applications you can use, but you'd have it up in front as you're asking for permission. So the first question that we're going to ask.
Hold on. It's not working, so I'm just going to get my whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, it's not showing the drawings.
And now you're getting real-time training, folks, because this will often happen.
All right,
And,
Kevin, you can make me
what
big now.
our plan
Okay, Tina becomes the focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now Tina's got the focus, and she is going to bring up the whiteboard, which is going to have a handy-dandy diagram, otherwise known as the matrix. Now, we don't even have to refer to it as the matrix, but that's pretty much what it is. So there it is, folks. And then we're going to start in the lower right quadrant, and I'm going to ask the question, who is important to you? And for me, Tina, I would say that my wife is important to me. And others can chat in about who's important to them. Sam says dogs. And husband. Leslie, friends. Matrix Talk says kids. All right. Goats. Oh, yeah. Dumbledore and Neville.
Yep.
Family, Sam says.
Is that the kids or the goats?
That's the goats.
That's the goat kids. Both.
That's true.
My dad, Ann says. Excellent, excellent. Anybody else? Parents. Yes, parents are important. Absolutely. Anybody got another one? You got the pets, the friends, husband, kids.
I'll put my babies.
Put the babies down there. My new house and contractor. Oh, yes. Contractor,
Ooh.
very important. Yeah, my plumber was really important to me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Still is, but he was very important on a particular day. My kids' teachers, there you go, right? The students. Thank you, Lisa. The students are important. And Ann says colleagues. So I see that Lisa listen to me. Tina has totally filled up the board.
Yep. You did a good job.
So we've done a good job. So now we're going to bebop over to the lower left. And now I will say something like, we all have yucky stuff that shows up inside of us. Stuff like fear. And we put stuff like that in the lower left quadrant. So can you think of any other yucky stuff that shows up inside of you or other people for that matter? So we got fear. We started out with fear. Anybody else want to weigh in with something? Being tired. Yes. Sam says doubt. Lisa, anxiety. Oh, there we go. Despair. Miriam, pandemic. Anybody else? Jennifer says overwhelmed. Oh, yeah. That's very popular right now. Guilt. Lisa says worry. Oh, yeah. Imposter syndrome. Mariam with imposter syndrome. IS, I call it. I give it 20 now. Shows up so much. All right. IS. All right. Yeah, that's a good list. Anybody else want to throw something in there? I don't see anger. I like to put anger in there because I sense there's a good bit of that showing up in people, certainly inside of me. Oh, Kevin, help me out there. Allergies. Oh, yeah. Allergies. Absolutely. Yeah. Resentment, Leslie says.
That's a good one.
And says pain. Frustration. Yes. All right. So we have a pretty full yucky stuff list there, don't we? Yeah.
Filled it up.
Yep. So now what we do is you bebop up to the upper left. And now we're going to put behaviors up there. These are things that we can see you doing. So up there, we're going to put, behaviors that you are doing or that someone else is doing that are meant to kind of reduce or eliminate all that yucky feeling stuff down there on the bottom. So, for example, if that fear shows up inside, I'm going to be doing some running to reduce my fear or get away from it. So what else we got? And look, they're already weighing in. Anne says isolate. So Anne someone might isolate. Oh, scroll through the phone. Yes, phone scrolling. Sam's going to even go one better. Just turn off the phone. Oh, Leslie, yes, cancel things. Yep. Take it off my plate, right? Lisa says, listen to music. Yep. Leslie's eating chips now. Cancel things and she's eating chips. So crying, sleeping. Kevin's going to play his guitar, of which he has several in the background there to choose from. Sam, go for a run. Oh, yeah. There you go. Limit time watching TV. And then there's the opposite of that, which Kevin W. says has watched a lot of TV with the Netflix. And binge out on fruit snacks. Awesome.
And then the kids yell at you because you ate all their fruit snacks.
Yeah, where's all my fruit snacks, Mom?
Yeah.
Oops. Cookies too. Cookies. All right. So we got a pretty cool list of away moves there. Oh, look at that. All right. So now we're coming around the horn, coming over there to the upper right. And in the upper right, we're going to put behaviors that are meant to bring us closer to those important folks down there that we were talking about. So, for example, for your mom or for my wife, I just had lunch with my wife. So I would say have lunch with my wife. Anne says meditation. Kevin's going with talk. What else we got? Run. Now we're running toward someone, right? Cool.
Or with someone.
Yeah, so now you're noticing that behaviors can go on either side. They can go on the toward side or the away side, right? You can run toward someone or run away from fear. Call to check in. Yes, Leslie. Yes. Send a gift, Lisa says.
Dance.
Yeah. Give a gift to a loved one. Ooh, gifts are good today. Yeah. Dance with your family. I love it. We do that while we're doing the dishes sometimes in my house. We'll dance around. Plan time with friends. Yeah, plan. Feed the dogs.
You want them to stay around.
Yeah. Listen to music. Take a walk with the dogs.
Oh, here we go.
Those are well cared for dogs, folks. This is cool. Oh, Kevin's got play guitars. There he is. Now he's playing the guitar. He's still playing, but now it's a tour move for him. Awesome. Playing guitar. Hopefully people are listening, right? Or at least you're listening. Cool. So we've got that all filled in now. And now we're going to go to the center. And in the center, we're going to put a circle. And in the circle, we will write the word noticing. So that is, we might have the opportunity to notice who and or what's important. Might have an opportunity to notice yucky stuff, way moves, and toward moves. So my question to you folks today is, do you think that you might have an opportunity, and maybe like within the next week or so, to notice yourself, to notice your important people? You think you might have an opportunity to do that? What do you think, folks? Think you might have, yeah, for sure, Legend says. How about noticing some of those away yucky feelings? You think you might have an opportunity to notice some of those? Kevin says yes. How about some of those away moves? You think you might have an opportunity to notice yourself doing some of them? Sam says, yup. And do you think you might have an opportunity to notice yourself doing some moves toward those important people? All right. Cool. All right. So now we have just done a loop around matrix.
Number 1. And
that's, we'll like refer to that as the me matrix, which is the loop that we do with you or me or an individual. So now what Tina's going to do is we're going to come up with a brand new matrix. It's going to look very much like the old one, except it's going to have one difference, which is this time we're going to be asking a different question to start this off. And the question that I would ask is talking about shared purpose here. So this is like when you're being or you're working with others. And remember, with others, we always have a shared purpose, even if it's just you and somebody else. So we're going to write those down in the lower right quadrant. So, for example, if we have the shared purpose of being here today, right, what might be our shared purpose of being here together? What do you think, folks? What's brought you in? Listen to new ideas, Sam says. Cool. Listen to new ideas. Learn something new. Yes, learn something new. Socialize virtually. There's a new 2 words that haven't come together until this year, right?
Yep.
Improve. Anne says, improve. Yeah. Build school leadership, Kevin says. Yes, that's what we tagged this one as today, is building school leadership. New strategies to help others, Lisa says. Yep, very good. Help children with the traumatic events that are happening. Yep, very much so. Mm-hmm. And this is like for school leadership that we're doing today, but it can also be any other kind of event. Support each other, Ann said. Right? It doesn't have to be a traumatic event. It could be if you're working just with a group of people, or if you're in a business, or even if you're at home with your family. There's going to be that shared purpose stuff going on, right? So cool. Oh, analyze data. Okay, we could do some of that too while we're at it. That might be something we would put in the upper right later on, but we'll put that down there for now, because what we're doing now is everybody gets to weigh in about what brings them in here. Okay. So now we're sliding over to the lower left again, and you kind of already have a hint as to where we're going with this. But now we're going to talk about social yucky stuff in the lower left, right? So when we're with others, yucky stuff can show up, right? So can you think of some yucky stuff that shows up in people when you're with them or you're being with them? What do you think, folks? Fear, Kevin says. Oh yeah, fear can be shown. Oh yeah. Stress, Sam says. Disagreement. Oh no, Leslie. Disagreement. There we go. Our list is growing. Anxiety, Anne says. Low level of tolerance for others' ideas. Yes. Bit of that could be showing up. What else you got there, folks? I'm going to say frustration myself. I like to put that in there. Oh, well, look at that. We just put it in. I got some frustration. How about resentment? Anybody have any resentment that might be showing up in the social yucky world there? Anger. Yes. Good bit of that too.
Defensiveness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Melinda says confusion. Jealousy. And worry. Worry, Lisa says. Irritation, Leslie. Oh, yeah, irritation. Feeling misunderstood, Anne says. Feeling misunderstood. Yep. Very much so.
All right, we filled that one up.
Awesome. Yep. Okay, so we got the social yucky stuff, and we put that down there. Us versus them. There you go, Kevin. And that, I would just sum that up as ego. In other words, your egos show up. And then we would go to the upper left, and now we're going to talk about social away moves. And when that yucky stuff shows up down there, many of us have our very favorite away moves to get rid of the yucky. So can you think of an away move that you or one might do in a social setting. So what do you think? Stay quiet, Leslie said. Oh, yeah. That's a popular social away move. Check out. Mm-hmm. The lights are on and nobody's home. The glazed over look in the eye, right? All right, what else we got? So now we're staying quiet. We're checking out some other things. Have a sidebar text conversation. Oh, wow. No one on this group has ever done anything like that probably before, right? During a meeting. Oh, gossip. Yes. Gossip is great. I love it. Let's all get together and talk about who's not here. Gossip. Awesome. All right. Well, we've got call in sick. Yeah, just don't even bother going. There you go. Oh, Kevin, sabotage. Yeah. All right. Those are some very cool social away moves.
Avoid. Be sarcastic.
Be sarcastic. Oh, yeah.
How about just do everything yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
That's it. I'm just going my own way. I'm going to be me here. Cool. So how we do? All right. Okay. So now we have the social away moves from the social yucky stuff. And now we're coming over to the shared purpose moves, right? And now on the upper right, we're going to write those behaviors and the service of the shared purpose that we talked about, or shared purposes. And some of those are general. And the thing that we always like to put up there in the beginning would be communication, right? So to move toward the shared purpose, you really want to be able to do some communication, right? Here comes Anne, develop group norms. So Anne would be developing group norms for a shared purpose. Melinda says, make ourselves available. Sam says, listen. Yep, basic listening. Leslie, offer to help. There you go. Sam again, being flexible with new ideas, sharing new ideas. Agreeing on the mission and the purpose. Yep, could do that. Even just basic discussion about the mission or the purpose, right? Anybody else want to weigh in about a shared purpose move? Got a good list going. Respect, yes, and that goes with the communication, folks. When we communicate, we want to communicate respectfully, right? So we usually put that in there when we're doing the 2 loops around the matrix, because that's really where we kind of want to shade people toward. Give people space. Oh, there you go. All right. Oh, ask questions with respect. Yes. Go to wherever stuff is happening,
where it's
right?
happening.
And ask questions with respect. And give people a chance to share. There you go, right? And you got it. So now we're done all that. Guess what we're going to do, folks? We're going right back to the center again. And we're going to draw another circle. And we're going to write that word noticing again. And then I'm going to ask you the question is, do you think that you're going to have the opportunity to notice shared purposes, social yucky stuff, social away moves, or shared purpose moves like in the next week or so? What do you think? Miriam says yes. Anybody else? Oh, lots of yeses showing up there, Tina.
Cool.
All right. So now that we've taken you through the 2 loops, now we can be moving on to, well, gee, what are we going to talk about today, Tina? What's our topic?
Building school leadership in the
Building
wake.
school leadership. So I'm assuming that we've talked about that in the wake of
Traumatic events.
Right? So that came out of, obviously we have a few traumatic events going on right now, at least in this country of the U.S. and also, relative to the pandemic. And one of the things that obviously is something that is very much on people's minds is this whole question of leadership. And we decided we were going to just go with school leadership. So what we're going to do here, and we've already started to show you a way to engage people within an educational community. And by that, I mean, teachers, parents, students, support people in a conversation that will help to build some shared purpose and some psychological flexibility and some psychological safety. So why don't we just, we're going to go with another loop.
Can I draw a school in the middle?
Yeah,
I don't know how
absolutely.
to draw.
You could, whatever way you want to do it, right? So now what we'll be doing is just drawing another matrix. And Tina, oh, very nice. All right. So we have us a little schoolhouse there, right? And we're going to be talking about leadership. So now when we use that word leadership, what would be the shared purpose? Building school leadership. What shows up for you around that? And anybody can feel free to weigh in here.
A shared purpose of building school leadership.
Building school leadership.
What's important about that?
Supporting the community. Yes. Strong leadership helps us all relax and feel confident. Yep, you got it. Leslie says, elevating the game of all staff. Ooh. Linda, respecting staff. Very important, right? And providing a safe environment for staff and students.
Safety.
Kevin will be looking for better results. So cool. So we've got us a good starting list of shared purposes in terms of building school leadership. And especially in the wake of the current circumstances that we're facing, right?
Yep, filled that up.
Yeah. So now I'm going to ask another little bit of different question, which is, along with that shared purpose of building school leadership, another question that I might be asking, well, who and what is important when it comes to building school leadership? Now, we've already gotten at the what's a little bit, but who's important here? And anybody can weigh in. The students, yay! Students, the parents, absolutely. The board members, oh yeah, let's not leave them out of the picture. Families, administration. Okay. Very good. Anybody else? Teachers, oh good.
I'm going to put the paraprofessionals and instructional
Well,
assistants.
let's put that, yeah. Support. I always put that like support staff, but if you want to put paraprofessionals, yeah, right. Educational assistants, school psychologists, counselors,
the people who
behavior
provide the
analysts.
money.
Yeah, the bus drivers. Thank you, hooray for the bus drivers, right? The people who provide the money. You got it, Kevin.
The money. All right. We
So,
filled it up even more.
Yeah, so I like to have that conversation too, because that's what this is all about, folks, right? Lunch workers, yeah, there you go. Custodians. We're all part of that school community. Absolutely. Right?
Cool.
So when we're thinking about shared purposes, we want to be also thinking about all of these folks too. And to the extent that we can, we involve them in the conversation too. Now, we're not doing it here today, but one of the things that I used to do when I was working in the schools was I would involve as many of those people in shared purpose conversations as I could. And that gets back to one of the things that Matrix Talk, otherwise known as Kevin, said about going to the place where work is happening and asking questions with respect. So one of the things that I would say when you're having shared purpose conversations, and this is the biggie, folks, this is the big conversation that you want to have. And you're going to have it as many times, many, many times, is going to people that are involved in the process of education and asking them that question. Gee, what do you think is our shared purpose here?
What are we here for?
What brings you in, right? Even if they say, I'm here to get paid.
Right.
I would say, cool. So that's your shared purpose for being here. Even if a student says, well, I'm only here because my mom makes me come to school. I'm going to say, great. So you're here because of your mom. That's awesome. So we have those kinds of conversations right up front before we do anything else. And if we could do that kind of stuff for ourselves and with our students too, as we're talking about, you will have done a very cool thing right from the beginning to help people move through these very difficult circumstances that we're facing, right? So where we start right there. So we're going to continue the conversation though, because now we're going to say, well, we're talking about these shared purposes. So hey, what kind of social yucky stuff is showing up around all of this? What do you think? And now I'm doing this thing called listening. One of those things that we talked about in the upper right. Listening. Funding. Yes, funding. Funding is a huge issue, right? So funding, as in, I'm guessing lack of funding, Sam, is what you're saying, right? It'd be yucky stuff, right? Judging. Oh, here we go. Judging people's motives. Yes. That will certainly show up in the social yucky stuff. Sam again says differing opinions. Time. And Sam, I'm guessing time as in like not enough, or where do I find the time? There, lack of time. There you go. Cool. Right. Terrific. People not doing their jobs. That shows up on the inside. That thought people are not doing their jobs. Kevin, of course, my way of making decisions is the best.
Oh,
right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'm going to call that ego.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Yep.
My way.
My way. Me. What else might show up in terms of social yucky stuff? Talking about building this school leadership and shared purpose stuff.
Fear of control.
Ooh. And more, I would also add fear of losing control. In all my years working in schools, that was something that I heard quite a bit, was the fear of losing control. So there we go. So how are we doing? Resentment, Ann says. There you go. Yep, resentment, right? I would add like things like not enough, fill in the blank.
Right.
Time, people, resources, whatever.
Not
fill
enough.
In the blank, right? Okay, so good. Caretaking. There you go. Okay. So we're just having this conversation about the social yucky stuff that can show up as we're talking about the shared purpose of building school leadership and ideologies. There you go. Yeah. Too many shoulds.
And
Paul, jealousy. There you go, Paul. Just bring it right in, right? Jealousy could show up. It shows up in those social situations. Awesome. So we're just kind of getting stuff out in the open, and we're letting that social yucky stuff breathe a little bit, writing it down just the same way Tina's doing. And now we're going to be bebopping once again and up into the upper left. And I'm going to say, well, when that social yucky stuff is showing up inside, what do people do on the outside? What might we see them doing within our social group to reduce or eliminate their social yucky stuff? Complain. Oh, yeah, that is the numero uno. Complain. Oh, Paul's going for undermine. Yeah, some undermining could be going on there. Absolutely. Anybody else got one? Stay quiet. There you go. All right. The best move is no move. I'm going to hunker down. Threaten to send their children to another school. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Oh, Kevin, death by 1,000 emails. Yes.
It was in the email. Did you see it? It was in the email.
Yeah. Didn't you get the email? Exactly. Right. Death by 1,000 emails. How about just don't open up your email? That'd be a good one too.
Yeah. Avoid the email, or I'm going to add email to avoid uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Email someone.
Email instead of talk.
Text. Someone said before in the first loop about texting.
Yeah. Yep. Email instead of talk.
Now, another one that becomes very popular in these situations is people will overtalk. They'll just get up and go kind of on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
You ever been in a meeting like that, folks? I know I have.
Yep.
Right? One person gets the floor, and that's it, right? Anything else? You got a good list here. Anything else anybody could think of? A social away move.
Good stuff.
There you go.
They've been here before.
All right. Okay. So let's continue over to those shared purpose moves in the upper right. And now we're going to be looking for things that people can do to move toward those all those shared purposes that we've been talking about here.
We got school leadership and supporting community.
Paul says fund. Paul says fund.
Fund.
Yes.
Fund the schools.
Provide funds. Right. Collaborate, Kate says. Collaborate. Yeah. And obviously, we're going to put communicate back up there again because that is the ongoing process that we want to be involving in. Right. Okay. Anybody else? Listen, Melinda says. All right. Anybody else got one?
I added go to where the people are and ask questions with respect.
Absolutely. Go to where they are. Encourage input from everyone. Encouragement, right? And that's what you're doing when you're doing these loops. You're really building encouragement. You're really making it okay for people to lean in and be part of this. Sam says support. Kevin says keep your promises. All right. Take action on the changes you want to assist with. Yeah. So that kind of gets at, one of the things that you're going to want to be doing in shared purpose conversation, not in all conversations, but in many, is assigning like who's going to do what. Right?
The expectations and actions.
Yep.
Turn on camera in meeting.
Oh, there you go. Turn on the camera. All right.
Turn on the camera.
Yeah. Oh,
Really
that could be over there.
understand
That could be
roles.
over there on the away side too, right? Turn off your camera.
Turn off the camera. That's a new one for this year, right?
How about mute your camera and mute your audio and turn off your camera? You could do both of those.
Show up.
Truly understand, seek to understand, right? Truly understand people's roles. Set realistic expectations and actions. Cool.
Get to the doing. Awesome.
How's that?
We filled up that one.
All right. And then once again, we don't have to do it. We're going to notice, right? You're going to keep doing the noticing of the shared purposes. We're going to keep coming back to that and noticing about if social yucky stuff shows up while we're having these conversations about building up the leadership, and notice if people are doing away moves. And we're going to notice if people are doing moves toward shared purposes, right? And this is all done from a very respectful, non-judgmental point of view. As you can see, as we're going through these loops, we're not telling anybody what to do. We're simply just having conversations. We're walking along with them, and we're really asking these very simple, respectful questions of people. And these are the kind of responses that we are looking to get, and that we do in fact get, and that I in fact got when I used to do this kind of work in the schools. So I want to add another loop right now, because we have, what is this all about, right? So what's school for? There's a good question. What's school for? What do you think, folks? What's the school for?
What is school for?
I like asking that question to people. Education. Hey,
what is school for?
Yeah. There you go. Right. And like I was just talking to a young person last night, and she was saying how I asked her about school and learning, right? And I was using the matrix diagram, and I said, where would you put school on the matrix diagram? So hold up that diagram, Tina. Where do you think she put school on the matrix diagram, folks? Anybody got a thought about that, where she would put school for herself? And all these other answers are great, by the way.
Adolescent or like elementary age?
She is, well, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anybody want to weigh in? All right. Well, I'm going to give you the answer. Where do you think she put it, Tina?
I think she put it in the lower left.
That's exactly what she put.
That's what I was asking.
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
School went in the lower left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put that in there. Right? And now what was added to that was what else was showing up about school? And what do you think might be showing up about a young person with school? If they put it in the lower left.
In the lower left. What's hard about school?
Oh, yeah, they could say that, Leslie. Right. Bullies. Yep.
Yep.
Anybody else? Anxiety, Kevin said. Yes. Oh, Kevin, you were with me last night then when I was having this conversation. It's boring. Oh, that is the numero uno, Leslie. You just hit it. Fear, being told what to do, waking up early, all of that stuff. To which she added too much work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So here was the cool part. So then, she talked about school and learning, and I said, where would you put learning on the matrix? And where do you think she put learning? Anybody? Upper, and you got upper right, upper left, lower left. You have 4 places you can put it. Leslie says, I'm hoping bottom right.
Yeah.
Anybody else got another one? Leslie says, Leslie's voting for bottom right.
Could also
Upper
be
left.
hard.
All right, Kevin. Upper right. All right. Oh, we're filling in all the quadrants. Awesome, folks. All right. We're just doing I'm doing a little bit of what we call sorting with you. I'm asking you where it goes.
Where does it
And
go?
this is a little bit beyond what we usually do in an advanced, in a beginner training, but this is a Wednesday. So I did a little bit further with this, and this is sorting. So we're just asking people where stuff goes.
Where does it go?
She put learning in the lower right, folks.
So
she goes, I love to learn. I love to learn new things. But there's other stuff about the school stuff that was showing up over on the yucky side, right? So here's what I'm doing, folks, and here's where I wanted to go with this, is that I believe that the first place to begin with any kind of school leadership is go to where the student is and ask the learner what is important to him or her.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we need to start. And I can tell you from my many years of working in the schools that we do not start there. Tina, you've worked in a few schools. Did they start there?
Nope.
Nope. I got Ann here. I know. Ann, is that where schools start when we're working with students? And Ann, you can weigh in. Nope. She says nope. So that's kind of, when you want to start to build school leadership, everybody, start at the top. I'm of the opinion that we got to start right there with the people that were there gathered to try to educate, right? And someone said education, right? All those growth, socializing for kids. Yep. All of that stuff, right? So we would start there, right? So just like this young gal I was working with, she was saying what was important to her, right? So now let's bring that back up again a little bit. So we already got some stuff going here. We have who might be important to a student.
Oh, who is important to a student?
Because I would ask them that question. The first question I asked every student that I ever met was, who's important to you? The friends. Yep. Friends, family, dog. You got it. Mom, dad. There you go. Awesome. Grandparents. Oh, yeah. Grandparents. Terrific. Teammates. Yes. My fellow students. Girlfriend or boyfriend. Yep. You got that. Fellow gang members. Absolutely, Kevin. I used to work with a lot of kids that were in gangs, and they were in gangs, some by choice and some because when they went out the door, they had to either go to the red team or the blue team, and they had to make a choice that way, right?
Yep.
So their gang members were definitely important to them. And now you'll notice what we're doing as we're asking the question, right? What Tina's doing is she's simply just jotting it down. We're not casting any aspersions on anything. Mm-hmm. We're just meeting students right where they are with who's important to them. And you can talk about what's important to them too if you want. They'll certainly tell you. They'll mix in a few what's in with their who's. Not a problem. It's just fine. So the next thing we're going to be doing with a student is and we already started here, is, what kind of yucky stuff shows up inside of you? And we can put it in the context of what we're doing here today. We put it in the context of our traumatic events that have just been going on around us. It's right. Hate. Oh, there you go. Yep. Hate. Hate could be showing up. Anger could be showing up. Lonely. Absolutely, Leslie. Lonely. Boredom. Fear. Yes. All of this yucky stuff could be showing up. Rejection. Despair. Pressure. Yep. It's not fair. Oh, yeah. I've heard that more than once. It's not fair. Yep. Anybody else want to weigh in with one? It's a pretty cool list of yucky stuff. Depressed. Yeah. They'll say, yeah, I got some depression showing up in me. Yeah. With a hybrid school, COVID, not being assigned to the same cohort. There you go. You've been separated out. Yes.
Isolation.
Yeah, that's right, Melinda. They've been separated out. They haven't had that. They're not even able to hang out with the people that they want to hang out with, right?
Yeah.
So you're in a new cohort. Now, what shows up when you're in a new cohort? Let's just go into that. In a yucky sort of way. Yeah, wanting to fit in. You got it, right? Everybody wants to fit in, right? Otherwise known as be accepted, right? Anxiety, right? Exactly. Fear of being cast aside. Yes. Cut off from the rest of the herd, right? Everyone else already knows each other. There you go. Rejection. Yeah. These are all the kinds of things that are the kind of yucky stuff that would be showing up inside of a student.
And I wonder right now in the wake of traumatic events and media and a lot of online learning, it's difficult to filter out the feed for children and adolescents who are learning online, and all of the media is online as opposed to being in the classroom and maybe away from it from a little bit of time each day, so that
absolutely
the flooding of information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too much information. Too much stuff, right?
Yeah. Too much stuff.
So all of that stuff is what they're coming to us with, either virtually or in person. Most of us are virtually, but could be both. So then we're going to be asking students, you could ask that student, well, what kind of away moves do you do? Right? Because I know do some away moves, right? From that yucky stuff. Play too much Xbox. Well, I don't know if they say too much.
Right. They probably don't.
They'll say play Xbox. I don't know if they ever get to the end of Xbox.
Can't have too much. Play sick.
But yeah, play sick. Oh, awesome. Very good.
Don't sign in.
Don't sign in. There you go. Lock yourself in your room. Awesome. Oh, you guys have been around a few of these students then, huh? Minecraft and Roblox. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Turn off the camera. That's right, Ann. Turn off the camera, right? All those little black boxes that you're talking to on the screen.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Right.
Turn off the camera. Now, got anybody else want to weigh in? Get short with people. Yeah.
Testy.
Away move. Get angry at the siblings. Oh, yeah.
Pretend you're in school, but watch Netflix.
I love it. Yeah, open up. Hey, how about this? Open up another browser.
Yep.
Open up another browser, right? You're on your school browser, but now you're watching YouTube. Let's put that in there. YouTube. And what are we watching on YouTube? Video games.
Oh God. Yeah. Videos of people playing video games.
Videos of people playing video games. Swear. There you go.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right.
Away moves.
And you could be playing video games too while you're online. I've seen that happen.
Yes.
People get creative. And these are all just away moves, folks. These are all just things that kids do, that humans do to reduce their yucky stuff. And just like we're doing here with you, this is what they'll do. They'll start just kind of rattling them off very, one after another. And we're just kind of saying, okay, write them down. And now we're going to come around to the toward moves. So now I'm a student, and what can I be doing to move toward who's important to me?
Gang members and friends and family.
There you go.
Girlfriends and boyfriends. Teammates.
What do they do? Message a friend. Very good. Message a friend. Skip school. There you go. Yep. I'm skipping school. I'm going to go do something else. FaceTime. There was the one I was looking for. I can FaceTime a friend. They could do I call it a two-way. They could be FaceTiming their friends while they're in their virtual classroom.
So that's a two-way.
I call it two-way.
Move.
That's doing a tour and a way at the same time, a two-way.
An award.
There you go.
Two-ways and award.
Anybody else got one?
Awards.
One of the things I always give them credit for is that, well, where are you right now? If I'm talking with them, right? I might say, where are you right now? And they're going to say, here. I'm like, yeah. So where's here? Like, you showed up.
You showed up.
There's the first one. They show up, right?
Show up.
And then you go from there, right? So we're just having this conversation about that and about who and what's important to them. And now here's another way that you can be building that engagement and that connection. And I say start right where the learner is with doing that loop. And then we could actually be doing a shared purpose loop with the learner if you want to do it that way too. And we're not going to go all through that loop, but it would look very much like this individual loop. And you might say to them something like, well, what are we here to do today? Right? So like, Tina could be the teacher and she could be saying, so what are we here to do today?
So what are we here to do today?
Yeah. And then you might say, well, here's what I'm here to do. What are you here to do?
Well, Mr. Tenalia kicked me out of his class, so
there
I had
you
to
go.
come here.
Awesome.
I got kicked out of class, and I
got kicked out of class. Cool. All
I
right.
got kicked out of class.
So you're here because Mr. Tenalia got terrific.
Yeah, he sucks.
Now I know why you're here. So now that you're here, let's talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
What do you want to do next, right?
Where would you put Mr. Tenalia on your matrix?
Yeah, see, there you go. And now what Tina's doing is she's going to start to sort, right? So if you're the student and Mr. Tenalia has kicked you out of his class, where would he be putting Mr. Tenalia? Anybody? We got some matrix users out here. Where would lower left? All right, lower left.
Hey, Mr. Tenalia.
So then there I go. Mr. T goes, they used to call me Mr. T. So Mr. T goes in the lower left, right? Boom. There I am, right? And kicked out of class. Where would you put kicked out of class, folks?
I like getting kicked out of class.
There you go. Oh, so where would you put that then?
Over here. It's fun.
Yeah. Excellent. So, all right. So you're kicked out of class. Yeah. Awesome. And again, folks, what we're doing here is we're just having conversations with students. That's all we're doing. And if you can kind of pick up through
without
the
judgment.
this,
Without judgment.
Without judgment.
Anybody.
And without telling anybody what to do, and without trying to get anybody to go anywhere.
Yep.
If you can look through all of these loops, we're doing the same thing. Through all of these loops is we're taking this non-judgmental, very backed off stance. And if we start with where the students are, we're really validating them, right? So in this time of great uncertainty, when all kind of yucky stuff is inside of all of us, it's a good thing to be starting with who's important to you, right? It settles people down, settles students down, and then you can get at that yucky stuff, right? Because it's there and you want it to be okay. You want them to be able to kind of say it. And now we're going to put it up on the board and you're going to keep going just like that.
So what do you do to get away from Mr. T? Find relief from him.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it right now.
Right.
Now, the issue with that might be is that now if you show up in my office every day getting kicked out from Mr. T, well now we know we're getting ourselves into a little bit of a stuck loop.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're part of it. And
it could be a stuck loop maybe for Mr. T, but it might not. It might be something that student could say, well, this is working for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's working for me because then I don't get it. I don't have to deal with Mr. T.
Yeah.
And I get to hang out somewhere else.
Right.
Now, it might not be working for a bigger issue for them, but we'll have that conversation about that too.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to leave you with before we kind of shut it down here is that these same two loops, and we showed you through two loops that we did here. We did a loop with the student, which I think is very critical. That's why I want to do that one today, because you can't leave that out. Now you could be doing loops. You could be doing that same shared purpose with your staff. If you're an educational leader, And you could be a leader of a classroom. You could be a leader of a department. You could be a leader of a building or of a whole school district. You can be using these 2 loops to help pull your teams together. And I know for a fact that I've trained in schools where it's exactly what they've done is they use this even at the top level of administration. They have done the 2 loops of the matrix to try to help them get clear about their educational mission. So there's lots and lots of uses, and we could go into that. But part of it is when you use the matrix, you're going to get some creativity going, and that's the big thing about doing this, especially in this age of uncertainty. Is we want to keep that creativity going. We want to keep some problem solving going, and we want to make it okay to talk about this stuff, folks, and to talk about it together, and to disagree together too, because as you pointed out, disagreements could show up and conflict could show up. But now that stuff becomes stuff that we can begin to notice, and now we begin to do some other things around.
Notice what we do next.
You can notice what you do next.
Notice it. Notice what you do.
So there you go. That's what we had. That's what we wanted to present to you today. And also to remind you about our virtual quick act matrix boot camp,
which would be cool for teachers and
absolutely
administrators and leadership to join and learn how to do this very non-judgmental peaceful process.
Yep.
And take it back to their school.
And take it back to your school and do what they call, in educational terms, they call it turnkey, right? You've heard about that, right? So you send somebody out to do the training, and then you have them come back, and then they can train and show it to other people.
Yep.
That's it. Training of the they call it training of the trainers in the other vernacular.
And you might even get certified.
And you might even get certified.
And you don't have to purchase any materials. This isn't a big spend thousands of dollars on this big curriculum that everybody has to learn.
Nothing to download, nothing to install, no manual that you have to read. You would learn how to do these 2 loops, and we would practice with you. This is pretty much the training, folks. We're showing you how we would be training people who come to our boot camp, except it would be, a more drawn out, intensive experience over a few days, and we breaking it down.
Well, you will learn how to do it as smooth as Phil just did it.
Yeah. Yep.
And
then the other cool thing is your kids will learn how to do it too.
Oh yeah, we've seen kids do it at smooth or smoother.
Yep.
That Phil just did it.
They were veritable matrix experts. As a matter of fact, in my school, I would actually sometimes if someone came to visit, I would pull a student and have the student show the visitor, take them a loop around the matrix. Yep.
Very cool stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
See you soon.
See you soon. We will be here. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tina.
Bye.